Three, two, one. Broadcasting tape delayed from somewhere in middle America where we don't make as much money as your average pro athlete. Sports Economy Show is on. I'm Bill, and this is JP, and we're here to pump you up, folks. Because we're going to tell you how it used to be when players were making an okay salary, and then something changed in the world, which JP is going to talk a little bit about, that took salaries from a really good salary to not even fathomable to the person living in middle America.
Right.
That's just the way it is. Where you can get fined and you're okay with it by losing that $500,000.
So, yeah, it's no big whoop.
Big whoop.
Yeah, no big whoop. $500,000. I'm all right.
I lost that in my back seat the other day. Anyway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to start us off. I'm going to read a little bit. Got a little bit of some notes here.
All right.
About
Give
salaries.
Us your statistics.
About salaries in the 60s and 70s in the NBA and baseball.
All right.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about the NBA, and then you can talk about the NFL, the gorilla in the room, right?
Yeah.
And then I'll finish it up with baseball.
All right.
Or anyway, we'll wing it. So remember, folks, in the 1960s, your average person could buy a fairly decent 3-bedroom house for about $12,000.
1960?
In the 60s, somewhere in the 60s, And I looked up, I was watching a movie, and I looked at what would a 1955 Chevrolet cost. 1955 Chevrolet on the high end, the convertible and everything else, I think was about $3,200. So you can't even buy one that's all rusted out now for $3,200.
No, you can't even buy nothing for $3,200 on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh. Yeah, that's right. You can buy a scam for $3,200.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So
cardboard cutout for $3,200.
Yeah. All right. So the highest paid athlete in the 1960s was earning about $250,000. So your upper level guys who played for the New York Yankees, we'll say, or the Dodgers, like Sandy Koufax, whatever, they were making $250,000, but nobody else was. So by the late 1960s, the average NBA player reached approximately $20,000. Your average league minimum here
$20,000
was about $20,000 in the 1960s. But that's a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised based on my statistics.
About what, the NFL?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but once again, these are the guys riding the bench. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
So in the 1970s, by the end of the decade, the average salary in the NBA reached $60,000 by the end of the 70s. So there's still, $60,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Compared to what your average schmuckatelli like me is making. My dad wasn't making $60,000 in 1977. I guarantee you that.
No. Yeah, I would say, yeah.
And top players, like we'll use Kareem, Lou Alcindor at that time probably, was making $400,000 a season in the 70s. So, it's a pretty good deal. That, in today's world, that's really good still.
That's pretty good.
But in today's world, that don't even count.
No.
$400,000. Like, what? Anyway, but here's the kicker. TV changed everything. When they went from tape delayed, which is how we start this show every day, they went from tape delayed to the TV contract that they started this year was for $76 billion for 11 years. Not for the rest of the NBA's, just for 11 years. $76 billion. Yes,
76.
TV contracts changed everything. So
Yeah. I
anyway,
agree with that because
yep,
if you think about it, television networks, you know, sports are the greatest reality show out there. You know,
yeah,
there's nothing, there's
yeah,
technically nothing, it's, nothing rigged,
yeah,
supposed to be not rigged, right? It's
yeah,
the greatest, whatever sport it is, it's the greatest reality show.
yeah,
All these people that watch, all these other shows, reality shows, you know, Biggest Loser and
yeah.
Survivor and all that stuff.
That's all
That's all
scripted.
sports is. You
Yeah.
know, it just it's just much better, and it gets a much better audience.
Well,
So
just this
yeah,
past Christmas week, we had a player swing at a fan in the stands, and we had another player cuss his coach out and walk off the court.
you can't
Reality right there.
you can't script that. You just
No,
can't script it any
no,
better, right?
you
And
can't.
so networks gonna eat it up.
Yep. Sports talk
And
radio.
they, yeah,
Yeah.
everybody is living off of the sports.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody. So anyway, so I got a little bit more here, then we'll get to
All
you.
right.
In 1960, average salary for a Major League Baseball player was $17,934. So
What year was
18
this?
in the 60s, or I'm sorry, in
Mm.
1960, the average salary for a baseball player was $18,000. So they're getting paid quite a bit more than the NBA because
Mm-hmm.
baseball was king.
Yeah.
It was king. In
Yeah.
1975, the average baseball salary was $45,000 about. So they're making a
Not
lot of
bad.
money. Man, it's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
money, but it's not, what it is today. But also the NBA, they were making $60,000 at the same time. So, but there's a lot less players in the NBA than there was baseball.
Yeah. And
You know.
let me just add to that. So in baseball, you got to remember baseball signs guys straight out of high school. They go through the
Mm-hmm.
minor leagues. They don't make anything in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
So even with those salaries that we said, hey, that's not bad for that time. The players that were really playing are making a significant more amount of money than
Yeah.
the other sport
Yeah.
because the guys that are just getting in are literally playing for a ham sandwich. You know,
Yeah. That's
they're
right.
literally playing to pay for McDonald's after the game. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so just keep that in mind when you think about it. The players that are really the ones that everyone knows were making a lot more money
Yeah.
than other sports.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Roger Maris was making a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mickey Mantle, yeah,
Mickey Mantle, yes,
he
yes,
wasn't struggling.
yeah. So anyway, so players are doing okay compared to your average shipyard worker in the
Yeah,
60s and 70s.
yeah.
So now I got some more salaries. I'm going to rank them from 12 to number 1. But I want you there, JP, to tell us about the National Football League,
All right,
the only league that matters.
all right. So we're gonna come back to you. We're going to be now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So basically, when you look at the NFL and you think, wow, these NFL players were really, they make a lot of money, and I know they only play 4 months out of the year, and I know it's a dangerous sport, but they make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna say it wasn't always like that. I went way back to 1954,
Oh.
right?
Yep.
Otto Graham, quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, who at that
Yeah.
time it was always the Cleveland Browns who were winning. That was
Yeah.
before the Super Bowl. That's when they just had a NFL championship,
Yeah.
right?
How many teams were in the league? Like 7 or 8? 8 teams?
Well, yes, before the merger with AFL,
Yeah. Well, this was
I want to
before
say
the
it was like
AFL even
16.
existed.
I want to say it was like 16, 18 teams, something like
Oh, there were
that.
that many. Okay.
I don't know. I'm not sure, right? But it wasn't a big fall off. I don't think the AFL had a bunch of teams, but I'm not sure. I don't want to say anything
Yeah.
that I'm not, I don't
Yeah.
know for sure. But so anyway, Otto Graham, quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, made $25,000. He was the highest paid player in 1954, and the average salary of the players were $13,000.
Yeah.
NFL was more level. It wasn't like MLB where you have guys that are just breaking in, coming in from the
Yeah.
minors. The pay scale was more on an even plane,
Yeah.
and only the top players got around $20,000, right?
Yeah.
So average pay was $13,000. Most players at that time uh had to have part-time jobs or off-season jobs,
Yeah.
right? And most of them took advantage. So they became like they were in sales or real estate, try to
Yeah.
take advantage of their name, identity. People knew who they were,
Car
and they try to take
salesman.
advantage of it. That's right.
It's
They was like, hey, I bought a car from
yeah.
Jack who plays with the Green Bay Packers,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, come over here and see Jack. I mean, that's how they made the money. So everything kind of changed when the AFL came around in the
Yeah.
60s, right? And the big contract to change everything was Joe Namath. Joe Namath
Yes.
signed a rookie contract for 3 years, $427,000. And that basically escalated all of the salaries from here on, right?
Yeah.
And so that's basically 3 years, $427,000. That is like a hundred and what $40,000 a year. That's a lot of
Yeah.
money at that time,
Yeah. But
right?
the A
Much more
the
than the average salary.
AFL was offering more money than the NFL was.
Well, they had to,
Yeah. It's like
because
we're gonna get these players, so the NFL is like, well, I guess we got to do this too.
they got to do the same thing,
Yeah.
right? So with that, everything changed. Skip it to because of that, I'll move on to 1978. O.J. Simpson had a tremendous contract. It was a sign and trade deal. They traded him from the Buffalo Bills to his
Yeah.
hometown San Francisco 49ers. And the 49ers were paying him $700,000 a year. And it was a completely awful trade for the 49ers because OJ was past his prime and
Yeah.
he just couldn't bring them what they expected. And they gave away draft picks. It was awful for the 49ers, and they paid him $700,000, which was much more than anyone else was making. And the average salary in 1978 was $65,000, and
Wow.
OJ was making $700,000. So that's where it was definitely skewed. Jumping to the 80s now, along just like the AFL, the USFL
Yeah.
jacked up salaries tremendously,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden salaries were in the millions. Warren Moon in 1985 was making 1.1 million. He was the highest paid player in the NFL, and it just jump started it from there. If you go back, just moving forward, average salary in 1990 was $365,000. 95, $715,000. And in 1995, Drew Bledsoe. So in 1995 is when it really started to get skewed with the quarterbacks. So the
Yeah.
quarterbacks were making the big money. So you see the average salary at 715,000. It's because the quarterbacks were making a tremendous amount of money. Drew
And your
Bledsoe
and your
signed.
offensive line was making this.
That's right. That's right. Drew Bledsoe in 1995 was the highest paid player. He made $6 million a year, which at
Yeah.
that time was unheard of,
Yeah.
right? Moving on to 2010, a guy many people may know, touchdown Tom Brady, was making $18 million
Touchdown.
a
Tom Brady.
year.
Yeah, that's right.
Average salary in 2010 was $2 million. That basically meant if you were the worst guy on the team, you were making over $1 million.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And then moving on to, I just stopped it at COVID, right before COVID.
Yeah.
Uh, 2019, Russell Wilson was making $35 million a year, and the average salary was $3.25 million. That's not bad.
So Russell Wilson was the highest paid quarterback in 2019.
He was the highest paid player.
And
Yeah,
if you look at those between then and when Patrick Mahomes signed that basically $500 million deal,
that's right.
that's only like
That's
3 years difference.
right.
Wow.
Currently, as of 2025, Dak Prescott was the highest paid
Yeah.
player,
Yeah.
$60 million a year. Average salary now currently is over $5.5 million for the average salary. So
Yeah.
nobody is hurting for money in the
No,
NFL.
nobody's hurt. But the
If
point
you're
is
a
what we're
bench
talking
player,
about is the
you're
fact that
making millions.
they started out way down here
That's right.
and it's worked its way up. So what changes everything is TV. You have to have an entertaining product for people to watch. And that's where the money comes from. So
And in today's time, it's TV and internet. So you
yes,
have
yeah,
so many different resources now for for them to make money. You
yeah,
know, it's not just about being on TV, it's about all the rights that they get from everyone else.
yeah,
And it is a ton of revenue for the NFL, and nobody is hurting for money. And it's basically like the NFL makes so much money that they have so many other uh uh what are the fish that feed on other fish, right? I can't think of the name of them, right? But they literally are
like a killer
feeding off,
whale.
huh?
The NFL is the killer whale.
That's right. The NFL is the whale, and all those little fish that
Yeah,
are sucking on the whale,
yeah,
feeding off of the whale. That's
yeah,
exactly what it is. The
yeah,
NFL just makes so much money that everyone is getting fed that's associated with it.
yeah.
There's a no lose. It's a no lose situation.
Anyway, well, I'm gonna go over these lists of
All right.
people of the salaries people were making back in the 60s and 70s. Hank Aaron, he was making $80,000 a year.
Really?
Frank Robinson was making $85,000 a year. So I mean, these guys were making
No, that's not
good
bad in
money.
those times. That's not.
Yeah,
And look, let's be honest. It was a racial thing then.
yeah.
If you weren't getting paid the same as a white star, and you were black, hey, it was just understood. Hey, that's how it is,
Well,
right? So those
according to these
guys making that kind
salaries,
of money,
they were paying people. Oscar
they were
Robinson,
paying them.
Oscar Robinson make
Hmm.
$100,000 a year. So
That's pretty good.
Yogi Berra made $100,000 a year. Mickey Mantle made $100,000 a year. Bill Russell. I'll tell you a story about Bill Russell.
Yeah.
Will Chamberlain signed a $100,000 a year contract, right? In 1965. 1965, making $100,000 a year. Whoo! Well,
Boy.
Bill Russell demanded that he be the highest paid NBA star, so he earned $1 more.
that's that's some petty stuff right there,
One
man.
hundred and $100,001 a year in 1965. That is an extreme amount of money,
Oh yeah.
But
You know.
they're making this. Your average player is making 20 grand.
Yeah.
So whatever it is. So anyway, but Wilt Chamberlain was the first NBA player to command a salary of over $250,000 a year in 1967. So that making him the highest paid athlete of the decade. Nolan Ryan was the first $100 million man in 1978, 77, 78, I don't know which one. But he was the
Wait,
first player.
100,000.
I'm sorry, first $1 million. He was the first
Oh,
player
first
to
million
sign a $1
dollars.
million contract.
Okay.
Nolan Ryan was.
Mm,
So, and then like I say, once TV got into it, it just took off.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You, Now, do you know who the first $1 million player in the NBA was? I know the answer. If you don't know, I know it.
I don't know the answer to that.
It was one Magic Johnson, and it
Oh
wasn't
yeah.
until the '80s. It wasn't. It was his first big contract, and I
Okay.
remember I've actually heard many stories of NBA players at that time celebrating because they never thought that a player in the NBA would ever make $1 million a year.
Yeah.
How quickly things have
Yeah.
changed.
How
Mm.
quick. Like I say, we just did a video the other day, folks, of players you've never heard of who signed $100 million contracts.
That's right. That's right. Now it's just $1
Otto
million
Porter,
is
baby.
like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Hey, if
It was like,
anybody
what was
out there
that?
can
Oh, that was
tell
$1
me
million.
who Otto Porter is and send me a link, I will send you a $2 bill.
Oh boy.
Yes,
So yeah,
things have drastically changed.
yeah,
So anyway, so the WNBA is about to go on strike because they feel that they should be making more money. Well, the issue is, and we just went through this, you have to have a product that people want to watch on television, and that will bring you money untold. So
right. And you have to have revenue before you pay your players.
yeah,
I just brought up the USFL. That was their biggest thing. They made promises to pay players
yeah,
a ton of money,
yeah,
more than the NFL could ever pay players.
yeah,
And then they realized we're just not making enough money to pay these
yeah.
players.
That's right.
So what happened there last year? They literally will get paid on Friday, and whoever cashed their check first got their money. And
Yeah.
whoever waited and was like, "Oh man, I'll just go down to the bank a couple days."
Nope,
Well,
not that
the
way.
funds weren't there that week, so
Yeah,
that's how it went because they
yeah,
made promises that they just couldn't keep because they just started 3 years prior and they didn't have the money
yeah,
before they started.
yeah. Because
And
people
that's what
did
the
not.
WNBA is going through right now. They
Yeah,
don't have the money. Players want to get paid,
yeah,
and for what they do, they should get paid. But the league doesn't have the money to pay them what they
yeah,
actually deserve.
yeah. Life's hard, so that's all I can say. That's all I can say. Life is hard, man. I heard a story today about a company, and it's hard. So I'm not going to bring it up, but anyway. So that's all I got about
That's
salaries and how they went. They were just going like this, and all of a sudden they just took off, boom, like that.
right. But it is what you said for almost every sport. Television is
Yeah,
what expanded the sport salaries. Like many people that are younger have no idea what cable did for
yeah,
sports
yeah,
because it just basically gave you access to so many different people
yeah,
at so many different times. And now with the internet, you have so many
yeah,
different ways to watch these games, and so many people watch them.
yeah. Well,
It's just, you know,
yeah,
there's it is given these sports so many different ways to make money,
yeah.
and they're benefited from it, and the players are too.
Well, when the Extreme Sports Network came out, people loved it. They
Yeah.
At one time, I remember this little town I live in now. They were getting $13 per cable subscriber in this little area. And you think about large cities like, say, New York City, Chicago, LA,
Yeah.
Miami, how much they were getting per subscriber. They've had so much money they didn't know what to do with it.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
so anyway,
It's
but
and it's funny how it all happened. The way the ESPN started was the guy who started ESPN was like, "Hey, what is this satellite? Can I broadcast these games in Connecticut?"
yeah,
And they were like, "You can broadcast these games on satellite all over the country."
yeah,
And he was like, "For real?"
for
Yeah.
real.
And
For
then the
real.
next thing you know,
All you gotta do is
he
rent
basically
satellite
paid
time.
nothing and started his business.
Yeah.
And now where they're at.
Man.
Mm.
I'm an idiot.
I know, man. That's why we're doing this podcast, because eventually we're going to get big enough to be gazillionaires, and we'll tell people how to make money on how to do a sports podcast.
All right, folks. So from one idiot to another, we're signing off now. Remember, like and subscribe so we can have a gazillion dollars, because we're going to start our own show some way or how.
Somehow.
This is the best I can do is YouTube. It's free. All right. So long, everybody.
So long, everybody.
Y'all come back now. Here